Timothy Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Workweek, isn't just a guide to time management. It's a true manifesto for a new way of living. It's about breaking free from the grind, escaping the role of an office drone, and starting to live the life you've always dreamed of. Ferriss suggests not just working less, but working smarter to free up time for travel, hobbies, and self-development. The book itself was born from an experiment. Timothy Ferriss, tired of endless work at his startup, decided to radically change his life. He began delegating tasks, automating processes, and traveling the world while continuing to manage his business remotely. His experience became the foundation for the book, which went on to become a bestseller and inspired millions of people to make changes. The book is suitable not only for entrepreneurs, but for anyone who wants to break free from routine and start truly living. It will help you radically change your approach to work and time by learning to focus only on essential tasks, automate routines, and create passive income streams. Chapter 1. Warnings and comparisons, breaking through the wall of reality. Wealth is measured not just by money, but by freedom of time, mobility, and the ability to live luxuriously right now without waiting for retirement. The new rich are individuals who generate moderate passive income, allowing them to travel and enjoy life without being tied to an office. Define your dreams by what you want to do, not by accumulating millions. Create an automated income stream to support your lifestyle from anywhere in the world. This requires abandoning traditional thinking about working until old age. Assess risks realistically to understand that the worst-case scenario isn't as frightening as it seems. This approach helps overcome barriers and prompts action. For example, the book describes how someone decides to travel the world, and even if the plan fails, they can simply return to their normal life, having only lost the time spent trying. Another instance involves calculating the costs of dreams, showing they are cheaper than expected, like a round-the-world trip for a modest sum. The transition to the new rich lifestyle begins with reevaluating reality, where freedom outweighs savings. Small steps in risk assessment open the door to a flexible and fulfilling life. Chapter 2. Rules that change the rules. Everything we need is not what we need. Live by your own rules, ignoring societal expectations, and set ambitious goals that seem unrealistic to avoid competition. The new rich choose massive dreams, such as global travel or mastering new skills annually. Set inspiring goals and analyze the worst possible outcome to reduce fear. Don't settle for mediocrity. Focus on what truly matters to you. Reject conventional norms to forge a unique path. This allows you to achieve more with less effort. For instance, the book offers a scenario where someone aims to become a tango champion and achieves it faster than expected due to low competition. Another case involves a risk assessment for travel, revealing that failure wouldn't ruin their life, but merely provide experience. Having your own rules provides an advantage in a world where most follow the crowd. Ambitious goals make the journey simpler and more engaging. Chapter 3. Overcoming fear, from paralysis to action. Act immediately, without postponing dreams, because waiting for the perfect moment is just laziness. Step outside your comfort zone daily to conquer fears and live life to the fullest. Do things that scare you, like having difficult conversations or trying something new. Give up the illusion that life will sort itself out and start with a small step today. Overcome analysis paralysis by focusing on action. This transforms fear into motivation. For example, the book shares how someone starts a conversation with their boss about a flexible schedule despite discomfort, and it changes their life. Another instance shows how daily challenges, like calling a stranger, help acclimate to discomfort. Action conquers fear, opening doors to freedom. Start now to avoid regretting missed opportunities. Chapter 4. System Reboot. How to be unrealistic and why. Even an employee can live like the new rich by becoming indispensable and transitioning to remote work for mobility. Develop skills to prove your value without constant office presence. Become an expert through training and self-study. Propose a trial period for remote work, demonstrating increased productivity. Minimize commute time and useless meetings. This frees you up for travel and personal life. For example, the book describes how an employee starts with one day at home, demonstrating better results, and gradually increases their remote work. Another case involves learning new skills, making someone indispensable, allowing them to dictate terms. A mindset reboot transforms routine into freedom. Become indispensable to live life on your own terms. Chapter 5. The End of Time Management, Illusions and Italians. Traditional time management doesn't work because it focuses on increasing productivity rather than eliminating the unnecessary. Apply the 80/20 principle, or Pareto's law, to identify that 20% of efforts yield 80% of results and eliminate the rest. This allows you to reduce working hours by focusing only on key tasks. Identify and eliminate unproductive activities, such as endless meetings or routine reports. Instead of working harder, work smarter by delegating or automating secondary tasks. Identify your most productive hours and use them for important work, avoiding multitasking. This frees up time for life outside of work. For example, the book describes how an entrepreneur analyzes clients and discovers that 20% of them generate 80% of the revenue, so he focuses only on them, reducing his working hours. Another instance involves a manager eliminating unnecessary meetings, allowing him to work just a few hours a day with the same results. The 80/20 principle is a tool for simplifying life, where less means more. Focus on the essentials, and you'll free up hours for what truly matters. Chapter 6. The Low Information Diet, How to Know Less. Information overload steals time and attention, so limit your consumption of news, emails, and social media. Read only what directly impacts your goals and ignore the rest to maintain mental clarity. Check email only once a day or less, and respond only to urgent matters. Unsubscribe from unnecessary newsletters and news feeds to avoid distractions. Set rules for information. Ask yourself if it will help solve your current problem. This helps focus on creativity and productivity. For instance, the book recounts someone completely giving up news for a month and noticing increased creativity and reduced stress. Another case involves an entrepreneur checking email only on Mondays, which doesn't affect the business but provides freedom. A low information diet clears the mind of clutter. By limiting input, you enhance the quality of output in your life. Chapter 7. Interruption. The Art of Refusal. Interruptions destroy focus, so learn to say no to unnecessary requests and distractions. Group tasks, such as checking messages, into time blocks to minimize switching contexts. Respond to emails and calls only during designated hours, and use autoresponders to manage expectations. This allows you to work in a flow state, free from constant interference. Develop the habit of politely declining, explaining why it doesn't align with your priorities. Such boundaries preserve energy for important matters. For example, the book describes how someone sets up an email autoresponder indicating check-in times, which lowers expectations and gives them peace of mind. Another instance involves a manager grouping all meetings into one day a week, freeing up the rest for deep work. The art of refusal protects your time. By setting boundaries, you create space for genuine productivity. Chapter 8. Outsourcing life. How to delegate everything that doesn't bring joy. Delegate routine tasks to virtual assistants to focus on what you love. Find reliable help through platforms like Upwork or local services, and hand off everything from bookkeeping to shopping. Train assistants with clear instructions, starting with simple tasks, so they can take on more. This saves hours and allows for a mobile lifestyle. Evaluate tasks based on the principle. If it can be delegated more cheaply than your time is worth, delegate it. Such decisions transform life into an adventure. For example, the book shares the story of someone who hires an assistant in India to manage emails and plan trips, allowing them to travel worry-free. Another instance involves delegating bookkeeping to a freelancer, freeing the entrepreneur for creative ideas. Outsourcing is a leverage point for freedom. By delegating routine, you open up time for joy and growth. Chapter 9. Automated Income 1. Finding your muse. Creating automated income begins with finding your muse, a business that generates profit with minimal involvement. Such a business should be simple, scalable, and not require constant oversight, so you can focus on living, not working. Identify a product or service that solves a specific problem for a niche audience. This could be a digital product, like an ebook, or a high-demand physical item that's easy to sell. Test the market by creating a minimal viable product to see if there's demand. Use online platforms like eBay or Amazon for a quick start without major investments. Focus on niches with low competition but paying customers. This allows for quick profitability without complex infrastructure. For example, the book describes how someone creates an online fitness course for busy professionals and sells it through a website, earning passive income. Another instance involves an entrepreneur finding demand for rare vitamins and selling them through Amazon, minimizing their involvement. Your muse is your ticket to freedom if you choose a simple and in-demand niche. Start small, test quickly, and you'll create a business that runs itself. Chapter 10, Automated Income. 2, Testing your muse. After choosing a business idea, test it quickly and cheaply to avoid wasting time and money. Create a simple landing page with a product description and use advertising to see if people are willing to pay. Launch test ads on Google or social media to gauge product interest in a couple of days. This helps determine if the project is worth developing further. Analyze the data. If conversion is low, rephrase the offer or choose a different niche. Rapid testing prevents spending years on failing projects. Set a price that reflects the product's value, not just its costs. This increases profit and provides an opportunity to scale the business. For example, the book recounts how an entrepreneur creates a website to sell uniquely designed t-shirts and, within a week, uses ads to confirm there's demand. Another instance involves testing a photography course, which shows low interest, leading the person to switch to a more in-demand topic. Testing is a way to minimize risks and find a profitable niche. Quick experiments help you move toward a business that works without your constant involvement. Chapter 11, Automated Income 3, MBA, Remote Business Management, and Automation. Automating your business allows it to operate without your daily oversight. Outsource tasks such as order processing or customer support to free up time for your life. Hire virtual assistants or use services like Shopify or Fulfillment by Amazon to automate logistics and sales. This reduces your involvement to a minimum. Create self-sustaining systems with clear instructions for your team. This ensures stability even if you're traveling or relaxing. Regularly review business metrics such as income and expenses, but don't interfere with minor details. This allows you to scale the project while maintaining freedom. For example, the book describes how someone sets up an online store where orders are processed by a third-party warehouse and customer support is handled by an assistant, giving them the freedom to travel. Another instance involves automating email newsletters, which increases sales without additional effort. Automation is the key to a business that brings income and freedom. Set up systems and delegate so your business runs like clockwork. Chapter 12, Disappearing. How to escape the office. Breaking free from the office grind begins with transitioning to remote work to prove your value without physical presence. Demonstrate increased productivity from home, starting with trial days, and use data to convince your boss of the benefits. Prepare your arguments in advance, focusing on the company's benefits, not just your desires. If rejected, seek alternative, flexible work opportunities. Create a reporting system to stay connected but minimize oversight. This allows you to live anywhere without sacrificing income. For instance, the book describes how an employee starts with 1 day of remote work, shows better results, and gradually expands to full freedom. Another example involves negotiating with a boss, using productivity statistics, leading to approval. Escape the office step by step, proving your worth. This opens the door to a mobile life without sacrificing your career. Chapter 13, Beyond 9 to 5. How to get rid of the routine. After leaving the office, ditch old habits like useless meetings and overworking to fully transition to a flexible schedule. Plan your day around important tasks, leaving room for rest and adventures. Turn off notifications and set strict boundaries for work so it doesn't intrude on your personal life. This helps restore energy and enjoy your freedom. Shift your mindset to efficiency, not busyness. Engage in hobbies or travel to fill your newfound time with meaning. For example, the book shares how someone, after leaving their job, sets a rule to work only 4 hours a day, which increases concentration and quality. Another instance involves giving up daily emails, freeing up evenings for family. Getting rid of the routine is a life reboot. Set boundaries and you'll find true freedom. Chapter 14, Mini Retirements. How to embrace the new rich lifestyle. Instead of waiting for retirement, take mini retirements, short periods of rest and travel to live vibrantly right now. Plan them regularly, starting with a month, to recharge and try new things. Choose locations with a low cost of living, such as Argentina or Thailand, to stretch your budget. Learn local skills, like tango or cooking, for full immersion. Integrate work into your travels, checking in on business once a week. This turns life into an adventure, not an anticipation. For instance, the book describes someone taking a 3-month sabbatical in Argentina, learning tango, and returning motivated. Another example involves traveling through Asia on a minimal budget, demonstrating how to live luxuriously for less. Mini retirements are a way to live life to the fullest immediately. Plan them, and you'll turn years into a continuous adventure. Chapter 15, Filling the Void. How to add life to your life. Once freedom is achieved, fill it with meaning by pursuing what inspires you, like volunteering or creative endeavors, to avoid boredom. Seek activities that provide a sense of contribution, such as helping others or mastering an art form. Cultivate relationships and hobbies to ensure a rich life. Avoid returning to work out of emptiness, focusing instead on growth. Incorporate daily rituals, such as meditation or exercise, for balance. This helps you enjoy freedom without regrets. For example, the book shares the story of someone who, after achieving success, starts volunteering, which brings more joy than money. Another instance involves learning to play the guitar, filling time and providing purpose. Fill the void with meaning so that freedom doesn't turn into melancholy. Choose activities with soul, and your life will shine. Chapter 16, Top 13. Mistakes of the New Rich. How not to become one of them. Avoid common traps, such as overspending time on automation or neglecting your health to maintain balance. Don't forget about your physical well-being and relationships, even while traveling. Don't fall back into overworking out of habit, and don't ignore taxes in different countries. Regularly check your business, but don't interfere unnecessarily. Learn from others' mistakes. Don't isolate yourself, and don't spend everything on luxury without purpose. This will preserve your freedom for the long term. For example, the book describes the mistake of someone spending months on perfect automation, missing out on life. Another instance involves neglecting health, leading to burnout during travels. Learn about mistakes beforehand to avoid them. This will make your path smooth and sustainable. Chapter 17, the last chapter, The Uncomfortable Truth. The new rich lifestyle demands the courage to accept that freedom is self-responsibility, with no excuses. Embrace uncomfortable truths, such as the necessity of taking action despite fear, to live genuinely. Don't wait for ideal conditions, and don't blame others for setbacks. Focus on what you can control and move forward. Build your life around your values to make it meaningful. This is the final push for change. For example, the book emphasizes how accepting the truth about fears helps someone leave their job. Another instance involves realizing responsibility leading to a successful business. The uncomfortable truth is a catalyst for change. Embrace it, and you will find true freedom. This is such a wonderful book. I wrote down all the important points from this book, all the techniques and tools, and also made a step-by-step action plan based on the book. You can get all this in my private club, Place of Power. There, you will find a ready-made, detailed text analysis with similar lists for hundreds of best-selling self-help books. Also, only there can you get an exclusive analysis of the newest best-selling books that are currently at the top of Amazon sales charts. Join via the link in the description and enjoy.